PTFS has just released a brand new update and it is a lot bigger than you think. Now last time, we got a new set of ground crew vehicle remodels and a small Diamond DA-50 aircraft, but I feel like Orange 1 through 5 might have bitten off more than he could chew with this one, because almost 3 months later, we have 3 new, highly anticipated aircraft remodels, one of which might as well be considered new to the game, replacing an old one. And that's not even all we have today. So let's get into the video. This right here is the update log we're looking at right now. We're going to go through everything one by one. All right, let's start off with the first remodel, the A330. And look at what we got right here. This plane has pretty much been remodeled from head to toe. And right off the bat, this thing looks a lot better than the old one. We're going to run some before and after shots right here. The transformation is actually crazy. This model has been needing a remodel for so long. We got the new gear right here looking really good. And especially the cockpits. Look at this. Now, before this update, I didn't really think the A330 needed too much of a remodel, other than the cockpit mainly. But now that I'm seeing the before and after firsthand, yeah, we needed this, okay? Yeah, we're not joking around. So yeah, we got the new cockpit looking amazing. The stick is very detailed. We got a bit more switches than usual. And the screens actually have information on them. Not accurate information. It's not a live cockpit, but you know. We also have a few jump seats in the cockpit, which is pretty common with new PTFS updates. Very good stuff. Love the cockpit. In the cabin, it's not much different than usual. We got the business class up here. Then the economy back here going for miles. Also, now that we have the A330 remodel, we also have a new cargo version, which is something we haven't seen before in the game, so that's pretty nice. Pretty much the same setup in the cockpit. The back here we have a wall that you have to jump over, and then here you are in the cargo bay. There's a door right here that swings open once you click it. As far as liveries, we do have a DHL livery, and that's about it. But at least we have a cargo version. That's really nice. And yeah, that's pretty much it with the A330. Loving the new details. It's obviously so much of an improvement compared to last time, but is this thing still the butter machine? All right, we're established on an approach right here. Look at the gear tilt. Let's see if we can do this in the A330. There we go. Yeah, we're not going to talk about that. But let's move on to the next plane, which is the A340. And this is another very highly anticipated plane to be remodeled. And what better time to do it than with the A330, because it's pretty much the same plane, you know? So yeah, here it is, the beautiful Airbus A340-500. That's right, it's the 500, not the 600 for some reason, which is a bit shorter than the 600 if I'm correct, which is a bit unfortunate because you can't go wrong with the pencil plane. But yeah, we're rocking the Trent 500 engines right here, which means they actually produce enough thrust to take off. New cockpit, which is almost identical. We just have the 4 thrust levers right there. Pretty much the exact same cabin configuration. And we got 14 liveries in this plane, including the retro Air Canada livery, which I love. But we also have a special livery with this plane too. And that is this one right here. I'm not going to bother pronouncing that. So yeah, here it is. And it's much like the private liveries with the 787 and A350. But this time it's free, if I'm not mistaken. So anyone can fly this. Yeah, we have a very nice interior. We got the little lounge right here. Little gaming setup right there, of course. More jump seats that you can't actually use, unfortunately. But we do have an actual galley here, which you don't see very often. Some more seating back here, another lounge in here, and some regular seating for everyone else. Lots of room for activities back here. The only difference is that you cannot open the door, unfortunately. I don't know why they just have a click to open on every plane. Even without any animation, that would be pretty cool. Just click it and then it opens. That would be awesome. That is the A340. Very beautiful plane. So glad they remodeled it finally. People have been fighting for these two planes to be remodeled for like probably over a year at this point. And finally, the plane that you've all been waiting for, the Airbus Beluga XL. We finally have a Beluga remodel, but it's not really a remodel. It's more of like a replacement. Because in case you didn't know, the old Beluga was just the original one, which is based off the A300 and not the A330 like this one. So since they added the A330 to the game, why not make the Beluga XL and potentially save the normal Beluga for whenever they add the A300 and A310, which is hopefully really soon because, you know, we all want those. But for now, this is what we got, the Beluga XL, which is very, very nice. Oh, wow. Bro, PTFS joined. That's the creator of Project Flight. Oh my God. So this is it. a lot different than the normal Beluga, but I'm going to throw the before and after shots just to see how drastic of a glow up. The front end is crazy. Look at the 2D cockpit that this thing used to have. And of course, it did have the yoke set up with the A300 because that's what they used to use. But this one has the side stick and the classic A330 cockpit. We do have the mask over the windshield too, and the eyeball here on the side too, so it looks actually like a Beluga now. That's crazy. But yeah, how do we get into this thing, you might ask? Well, that's where this little hatch comes into play. We just lower that and down go the air stairs. There we go. Then we can climb into the Beluga XL. Here we are. This is really close to how it actually is in real life. We got the thick door right there. Few jump seats that don't work. And then around the corner, we have the cockpit. Not much else right there. We got some shelves right here, I guess. So that's the entrance and the cockpit. But how do you open the actual cargo space? If you get into the cockpit and press Q, there you go. The forehead of the Beluga opens right up. And with that, we can make our way into the cargo space. And yeah, here we go. This is where they load up the fuselages and the wings and all sorts of stuff. Not in game, unfortunately, but you know, I do love the structural pieces in the wall right here. Adds a lot of detail, and no other plane has these, so that's really cool. This thing is so rad, dude. Another cool feature with the Beluga XL is that if you press T on your keyboard, you can change the aircraft number from 1 to 6, and that changes on the tail too. But that's another pretty cool feature. And if you start moving, that door closes, so that's pretty good. But yeah, that's pretty much all there is to check out with the Beluga XL. Can't wait for them to add the A310, the A300, and maybe the normal Beluga back better than ever. But we're not even done with this update, which is the craziest part. That's right, we have a new pickup truck remodel, which completes the entire collection of ground crew vehicles, all of which are brand new as of this year. But it's not only the Follow Me truck that we have in the game now. We have 4 different versions, including the blank pickup truck right here, which is really nice. I'm so glad that we have like a normal vehicle in the game. We still have the light on top, but that's pretty much it. And at first I was wondering if they added suspension to the game because we do have the coils in there, but no, not really. It drives like every other vehicle. So it's pretty cool that the airport vehicles are based off of real vehicles now. But I'm getting sidetracked. That's not all we have with the pickup truck. We also have the normal Follow Me truck that we're all used to, but we also have a police truck now, which none of us expected. And this specific variant is actually a new game pass, which runs you about 35 Robux. And if you press L on your keyboard, I believe, there we got the sirens. Very nice. And finally for the truck, we have the airfield operations option, which is just your standard airport truck with the checkered livery. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Those are all the major key points that came with this update. We do have a few small things though, like /E commands finally work now. We got some changes with the ATC radio, and the radio also works with ground crew vehicles, so that's cool. And it also works on boats too, if you're interested in that. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this update. I am so hyped, dude. We love seeing new planes and new remodels in PTFS. And this update was 3 months in the making. That is actually crazy. Like when I woke up and found out there was a PTFS update today, or yesterday for you guys, I felt like a kid on Christmas morning, dude. Because yeah, this is probably one of the biggest updates we've had since engine failures, not gonna lie. But yeah, that's all for this video. What was your favorite part of this update? Let me know in the comments, and also let me know what you think they should add next. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you later.